The I-130 cases, basically anybody who filed an I-130 and it says on the I-130 that you came in unlawfully, basically you came in without papers, those cases right now are being flagged for to be put into immigration proceedings. And in some cases, they're detaining people. But most of the people that they're actually detaining are those who had an immigration record or a criminal record. Okay, so just because you came in unlawfully doesn't mean that you will get detained with the I-130, but they are referring people to court who had an I-130 and an unlawful entry. Okay, so there's something on my teeth, but basically that's the I-130 issue. Okay, touchdown. So I do still recommend an I-130. And then I will give you this information. We have seen that sometimes, even if you had an immigration, if you have like an order of deportation, for example, and you are worried to send your spouse, right, because your spouse has an order of deportation, we have seen it work on a couple of our cases with colleagues that, and even one recently here in Miami, that what you could do is send only the lawful spouse, send the petitioner only with a lawyer and a letter, a sworn statement from the beneficiary saying why they cannot be there, okay, and giving a phone number to call. So that worked at least with one of my colleagues recently, it was just yesterday, I think. So that's a great idea that we could try if you have a spouse with a deportation order, okay? But most people who just have an I-130 and an unlawful entry doesn't mean that they would necessarily detain you, but they are referring people to court. That seems to be a trend. So just be careful about that. Another thing is that if you didn't register for the in the Alien Registration Act, which is required by law since I think it was the 11th, then or the 14th. But basically, you need to already be registering if you came in unlawfully. And people who need an I-601A are actually among the people who need to register. So if you filed an I-130 and you came in unlawfully, you should register before you get to that interview, because it's another reason that they could deny your case, okay, for failure to register. So